So I've tried 2 different introductions already, referencing a song from my favorite band ever, the Dirt Poor Robins, and I've failed miserably and utterly. I've gotten too far away from where I was going and couldn't think of a way to get back because I don't write scripts for these. I'm not that patient or think ahead-ish. Anyways, this is me, Matthew again. I am drinking Galaxy Crush by Reuben's Brews, a hazy India Pale Ale. Well, that's definitely hazy. And I suppose you might be asking, another one? Yes, there's a lot of hazy IPAs these days. They're good beers. They're not necessarily my favorite style per se, but they're very easy to find, and especially on warm days, but maybe not super hot days. Sometimes they're just what the doctor ordered. And if your doctor orders a beer for you, you've got a good doctor. I was talking with one doctor at an urgent care facility not terribly long ago. I think it was just earlier this year, and we got talking about cigars. And he said, yeah, cigars are great. I like them. And it was a really great conversation. You know, everything in moderation, everything in balance, a little bit of everything. You maintain your risk factors, and you'll be fine. Anyways, this is not cigars. This is beer. And let's get back to the subject at hand. Anyways, hazy IPAs. Warmer weather. Good things together. This specifically is loaded with Southern Hemisphere Galaxy hops, hence the term Galaxy Crush. You can find that a lot in IPAs and hazy IPAs. Probably more so the hazy IPAs, I think, by personal experience, where particular terms in the beer's name will reference the hop, the primary hop in that beer. And so if you see a beer with the word Galaxy in its name, you can probably reasonably assume that there are actually Galaxy hops in that. And I believe that is a New Zealand hop, I want to say. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, like I frequently am. Just off the nose, there's a lot of mango going on there. Color-wise, it's definitely a hazy. It's it's you know, like straw and cream. The head was actually pretty creamy too. It's quite nice, pretty thick, though it's gone by now. Looks like it'll come back easily enough. So mango, pineapple, definitely tropical notes. It's just amazing, all these odors, all these smells that you get from just the hops primarily. Maybe a little bit of tangerine. The beer can says orange, but I'm not really picking up orange per se. If it is an orange, it's going to be a really sweet orange, maybe like a navel orange kind of smell. And more of the orange fruit than the peel. Smells good. Let's dive in. Yeah. Okay. Inevitable comparisons. So, I just finished the Flow State by Everybody's. And in the Flow State beer, there was an initial rush of kind of peach and pineapple and maybe some orange Julius, kind of creaminess, citrusy stuff. And then there was this kind of empty middle that I didn't go into too much, but I did mention there was a bit of a disconnect. This one has no disconnect. So, there's a similar creaminess. But that creaminess is just fuller. The beer has a bigger middle. And that middle bridges the gap between the initial tropical fruit flavors and then the bitterness that builds as it finishes. And it's really a wonderful bitterness in this. I love the Galaxy hops. They just produce this. It's very much a West Coast IPA lovers kind of whole mouth pine kind of bitterness. And it lingers and lingers really nicely. And so it's this beautiful finish to the beer, but leading up to it, there's no disconnect. It's this really nice kind of mild, sweet, fruity, maybe even some like cantaloupe or honeydew melon. So that there's kind of a softness to that fruit. And your pineapple and your mango, and it's really creamy. And then you have this really big middle that it just continues. It's not like a spike here and then an empty trough and then a bitter finish. It's this really nice, full, fruity, tropical, creamy, all the way across the middle. And then the bitterness comes up and builds. And yeah, good stuff. Yeah, this is a really good beer. This is a very tasty beer. You can still taste a little bit of maltiness to it. It's almost like a, not quite peanut, but reminiscent of peanut, like maybe peanut dust on top of your ice cream. Kind of malty character that comes through even. Like all the parts of this beer are present, and it's good for that. I like this beer quite a lot. This is a very good beer. And I'm going to leave it on that because I can. And I have beer to drink now. Anyways, this is me, Matthew. I have been drinking and enjoying Galaxy Crush by Reuben's Beers, Reuben's Brewing, Reuben's Brews, Reuben's Brews. I call them Reuben's Brewing. Reuben's Brews out of Seattle. And I will catch y'all